this Lent, we have a new theme that we're doing called Rescue Mission, about how God comes into our lives and rescues us.
And it's in those places that God comes into our lives and rescue us. We're going to talk about some stories, and you're going to hear stories from people within our community of faith where God has entered into their lives in times where they needed that rescuing as well.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how the Spirit moves and interacts, not just with us, but with all of us. So this Transfiguration Sunday, as we turn to the cross and we begin to open our eyes to see how God rescues us, we invite you to listen to a story from our own, from right here, and hear how God is reaching out and into our lives.
I see God around me all the time, but there was one point in my life many years ago, well over 10 years ago, where God was with me and got me through it. And that was when my youngest son, Matt, had his accident, and he had a traumatic brain injury. And my husband and I, it was such a tough time because we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how the extent of his injury. And we tethered to God together and worked through all of that. And without that piece, I wouldn't have made it through all of that, for sure. So that is one way, just one, and it's daily, that God was with me and got me through every bit of that experience.
We invite you to reflect on how God has rescued you.
And in reflecting on how God has rescued you, we would invite you to share those stories with us, with others, because when we share how God is at work in our lives, we're amazed at what God's doing in our midst. We'll see you this Lenten season.